Hi everyone, welcome to Math Museum Solutions for topic 11, all about data and line plots and comprehending what the line plots are asking us to evaluate. So question number 1, what is the difference between the heaviest and the lightest weights? So the title is Weights of Puppies in a Litter. So we have, here is pounds, so I know that the dots are the puppies and the numbers are the pounds or the weight. So now I have to look at the smallest number, which is 2 2/4, and the largest number, which is 3 2/4. And it's asking me for the difference, which is subtraction. So 3 2/4 minus 2 2/4 is equal to 1 pound. Okay, let's go to question 2. How many dots would be placed above 1 3/4 in a line plot of these data? So we have glasses of water, and then we have all different measurements that someone took. What I would do is I would carefully read every single one and circle exactly what you're looking for. This is your target data, so circle your target. So 1 1/2, 2 1/2, one of these. 2, I've got another one of these. 2 1/4, 3, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 3 1/2. 1 3/4 again. 2, 3 1/2, 1 1/4, be careful, 2 1/4. So now I have circled 3 occurrences of 1 3/4. So my answer is A, 3 dots. Let's move on to number 3. Which is the most common length of snail Fred has in his backyard? So now we have lengths of snails. So these dots are the snails, okay? These numbers are the measurements. So now it's asking me again, and we also have inches, right? That'll tell us measurement. Which is the most common length? So most common means the most occurrences, the most happenings. So what is the most common length of snail Fred in his backyard? Well, which one has the most dots? The most dot is 3 inches is the most common. So think about it, right? Visualize that. If Fred is collecting all of these snails and he's measuring them, he measured 3-inch snails 4 times. That was the most amount of 3-inch snails. Number 4. During a sleep study, the number of hours 15 people slept was recorded in the table below. And we have all of the hours here. And it says, use the data in the table to draw a line plot. My first step is I'm going to draw a line. Okay, I'm going to decide what's going to go on the bottom and what the dots are going to, or the X's are going to represent. So hours of sleep in one night, that is going to be the title of my line. Now, all of these are people, okay? Those are the people and how long they slept. So my dots are my people, okay? And my numbers are my hours. And then here's where I think we get a little nervous and we get a little stressed out. Where do I start? Where do I end? Find your smallest number in your data and make that your first number. So you have to go through and see, well, which is the smallest? And it looks like 5 1/2 is my smallest. So that's going to be my first data. And then you want to think, what is the skip count, right? What is the interval that it needs to be? So let's skip count by 1/2 because I'm seeing whole numbers and I'm seeing half numbers. So my next piece of data or my next number is going to be 6. And then I just fill it out. 6 1/2, 7, 7 1/2, 8, 8 1/2. And where do I end? Where do I end? The longest piece of data is 9, or the highest number is 9, and you stop there. If there was a 9 1/2, you'd stop at 9 1/2. Now we can collect our data. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look for your smallest first. So I have 1 5.5, and I have 2 5.5 hours of sleep. I'm going to put 2 dots above 5.5, and I repeat the process. Now I find 6. I have 1 6 hours, and I have 2 6 hours, 2 dots. Now I'm going to go to 6.5. I've got 1 6.5, and I've got 2 6.5. Now I go to 7. It's all about knowing the steps and repeating the process. I've got 1 7, 2 7s. Okay, 7.5. I've got 1 7.5, 2 7.5s, 3 7.5s, which equals 3 dots. Any 8s? Good, I have 2 8s. And then I have 1 8.5, and then I have 1 9. Well, I want to be that person sleeping 9 hours, but now it says 15 people, right? You want to make sure you have 15 dots. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15. So your data is accurate, and this is what you need to do. Okay, it is time consuming and it is tedious, but if you just take your time and go through the data slowly, you will be okay. Okay, there is a part B to this. How many more hours did the person who slept the greatest number of hours sleep than the person who slept the least number of hours? So how many more, and then tells me subtraction. And now it's bossy math. It's telling me exactly what I need to do. What is the greatest number of hours? So I'm looking at the 9, okay? Greatest number of hours of sleep, then the person who slept the least number. Well, what's the least number? 5 1/2. And then you have to subtract. So you take that 9, you make it an 8, and then remember regrouping with fractions, okay? You have 2 halves, which we also know equals 1. So we gave that 1 to the fractions. 2 minus 1 is 1. 8 minus 5 is 3. Okay? And so it's 3.5 hours. That is the difference. Okay, let's go to 5. Use the line plot below. Select all the true statements. Oh my goodness, that means we can't use elimination strategies here. We're going to be choosing more than one. So this is the heights of bean plants. So my dots are my plants, and my numbers are my measurements. Okay, the greatest height is 2.5 inches. Well, I'm looking at my heights and I have 1, 1.5, 2. I agree, that is true. More plants have a height of 2 inches than 1.5 inches. Well, 3 plants have 2 inches and 4 have 1.5, so that is not accurate. There are 3 plants with a height of 1 inch. Well, there's only 2 dots above the 1, so that is also incorrect. This is a long one, so we have to take our time when we read. There are 3 plants with a height of 2 inches. Okay, I agree there, but there's more. And 3 plants with a height of 2.5 inches. 1, 2, 3. I agree. So that is correct. The tallest plant is 1.5 inches taller than the shortest plant. So we have to do the same exact thing that we did in question 4. We've got to find the tallest height versus the shortest height. So 2 1/2 minus 1 is 1 1/2. The tallest plant is 1.5 inches taller than. So that is also correct. It's just reading comprehension, right? Right. Now we're talking about crayons, okay? Mr. Trincom's class measured the lengths of crayons. How many crayons did they measure? Use the line plot. The dots equal the crayons. The numbers equal the measurement. All right. How many crayons did they measure? Well, how many dots did they make? All you have to do is count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 crayons were measured. Okay, on to 7. Use the line plot from exercise 6. How many crayons were greater than 3 inches long? Okay, well, let me use this line plot. Hope you can see it. Okay, so it says how many, I'm gonna fold this. There we go. That's much better. Okay. Use the line plot from exercise 6. How many crayons were greater than 3 inches long? Okay, so I can include 3.5, and I have to include 4.5 because 4.5 is greater than 3.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our answer is 5. Okay. All right, and our last question, question number 8. It's another line plot drawing, reading and interpreting the data. Miss Garcia measured the heights of her students. So our dots are going to be our students, and our numbers are going to be our measurements. Notice it's a pattern. It's pretty consistent with this. Use the data in the table to draw a line plot. First thing, I draw a line and I write measurements here. Now I have to find my smallest piece of data. So I have 3 3/4, okay. All right. I'm noticing a lot of fourths, so I'm going to have to skip count by fourths. And my smallest, or my shortest height, right, is going to be 3 2/4. So I'm going to start with 3 2/4, and I'm going to skip count by fourths. You don't need to simplify in this case. 3 3/4. And now if I add 1/4 to 3/4, I get a whole, which is 4. And then I start the process again. 4 1/4, 4 2/4, 4 3/4. Oh no, where do I stop? There are no 5s, so I can stop at 4 3/4. And then I just go through my data. All right. How many 3 2/4 do I have? I'm going to carefully look. Oh, I see 1, so I'm going to cross that one out. And I have 1 dot. Now, how many 3 3/4 do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. So I put 3 dots above the 3 3/4. How many 4s? Wow, I see a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any 4 1/4? Yes, I see 1, 2, 3, 3 dots. Okay, and I have 4 2/4, and I have 3 of those, so I can put 3 dots there. All right, and that is your line plot. To be sure, count up your data and see if you have the same amount of dots, right? I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I have 15 students. Let's see if I have 15 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All done. Okay, last question. Now we have to analyze the data. Use the data in exercise 8. Select all of the statements that are true. I'm going to have my line plot ready as well. Okay. All right. The tallest student is 4 feet tall. Incorrect, because we have 4 2/4. The tallest student is 4 2/4 tall. That is true because that is my largest number on the number line. The shortest student is 3 3/4. Well, I know that 3 2/4 is smaller than 3 3/4, so that is also incorrect. The tallest student is 1 foot taller than the shortest student. Well, I'm going to have to do some math here. My tallest is 4 2/4. My shortest is 3 2/4, which is equal to 1 foot. So yes, that is correct. The most common height, or the most occurrences, the most happenings, height of the student was 4 feet tall, and we know we have 5 dots above 4, so that is correct. Okay, that's your Math Museum for topic 11. Remember to think about, it's all about reading and understanding what the data is asking you, and be very, very careful when filling out line plots. Okay, I'll see you later.